Hey guys, welcome to my next tutorial video on home recording. Thank you for watching my channel. In the last video, we talked about the overall gear setup for home recording, like the microphone, the interface, the computer, the monitors, etc. Right now, we're just going to talk about the microphone and the interface, which are two of the most essential components to home recording. We're especially going to talk about the interface, which is the Focusrite 2i2. That's the one that I have. I've been using this for a few years and I absolutely love it. It's around $150, brand new. I think they have a third generation out right now that's about that much, so you could probably even get the second generation like I have, even cheaper if you can find it. But it's an awesome piece of equipment. It's essential to recording because basically you need it to transfer an analog signal from your microphone into a digital signal that your computer can work with. So if you don't have this interface, or if you don't have something that can transfer analog to digital signal, then you will not be able to record. Now you might be thinking, well, there are some microphones that come with a USB cable, so I can plug my microphone directly into my computer without an interface. That's true and that can work, but if your ultimate goal is to create high quality audio, then you're going to need something that can boost the signal to your computer. And that's basically what this thing does as well. It's got something inside of it called a preamp. And those preamps act as basically an extra power boost that really makes your recordings sound more full and more real. Whereas without that, the recordings are going to sound a little bit more dead, and you're not going to have as many options to make it sound really, really good like you want it to. So I highly recommend getting something like this. The Focusrite is awesome, nice metal casing, durable, powerful. It works really well, and it's really budget friendly. So highly recommend that. It comes with two different channels. That's why it's called the 2i2. It's got the first channel here, which is what I'm currently plugged into, and then a second channel. And these channels are really cool because these inputs allow you to either use a XLR cable, which is a 3-pin cable that most microphones use, and that's what's plugged in right now. But it can also use a 1/4-inch cable like you would find on a guitar cable, like these guys over here. This is a 1/4-inch cable and can plug directly into that thing as well, just like this. Boom. So I can actually record a guitar straight through this interface and into GarageBand. And you might wonder, why is that important? Well, we'll get to that in the next video. But for now, just know you can plug in an instrument cable or a microphone cable into this interface, and that's fantastic. The next thing I want to talk about is these knobs right here that are right next to the number that designates the channel you're working with. So these knobs are called gain knobs, and they control the amount of gain, obviously, that you are using for your recording per channel. Why is that important? Well, gain is kind of a complicated thing to talk about if you really want to get into it, but basically all you need to know for now is gain gives your whatever you're recording power boost. So for example, if you are recording something and it sounds too quiet, then you want to increase the gain knob here on your interface so that it's not as quiet. So basically it's just giving you more power to hear things through the recording. And that's all you really need to know for now. And this is really essential for recording because in the next video, we're going to discuss how proper use of this knob is going to give you either a really good recording, whereas improper use is going to give you a really bad recording. And that's one of the most key things to know about home recording at this stage. So remember this knob, the gain stage knob on your Focusrite or on your interface. Really important. The next thing I want to talk about is this red button. You see it glowing right there. That is a 48 volt power selector. And basically by pressing that and by lighting it up after pressing it, it gives power to the microphone that you're using if it requires it. Not every microphone is going to require power in order to run, but some of these large diaphragm condenser microphones, like what I have, do require that extra power, and that will provide it to it. So that's a really cool feature of the Focusrite. The next thing that I'm going to tell you about is the monitor volume knob. So this knob basically controls the volume of your monitor feed if you are using something like these JBL monitor speakers. It doesn't have to be JBL, but if you're using speakers to listen to your monitor mix out loud, then you're going to control that with this volume knob. It's super simple. It's just a volume knob. And then over here, you've got your headphone volume knob, which if you're somebody that's like, I don't have enough money to buy headphones and monitors, go ahead and get headphones and you can control your monitor volume with that knob. And then that green little light there is just telling you that it's properly connected to your computer. So that's basically all you need to know about the Focusrite. There's a few other functions about it that are really important, but we're going to get into that in a later video. All you need to know is the basics right now, and those are the basics. So now we're going to get into microphones. So the microphone that I'm using is a large diaphragm condenser microphone called the AKG P220, sorry. Now, I love condenser microphones because they're so versatile, and I think for the beginner, it's probably one of the best mics that you can start off having. The reason why is because I would say most beginners are probably most concerned with recording things like their voice or maybe an acoustic guitar or something kind of more that has a lot of different frequencies that have subtleties that need to be picked up by a sensitive microphone in the way that the human ear kind of picks up sound. And that's kind of what the condenser mics are good at. Ribbon mics are actually much better at doing that, but a condenser microphone does that just as well, in my opinion. And I'm not going to say I'm a microphone expert. I just have learned a few things about them over the years, and I will tell you that a large diaphragm condenser mic especially, is one of the key components to being able to record yourself at home. And I never used AKG before. I've never even really heard of them until I saw it at, I think I bought this one at Guitar Center, and I said, you know what, that's in my budget. And I looked up some good reviews and I loved it. So I highly recommend this AKG microphone. I think they've got a less expensive one, which is a medium diaphragm microphone called the P120, and I've heard good things about that as well. So you've got options that might meet your budget a little better, but I recommend a large diaphragm like this one. So what you're going to want to do with your mic setup is you're going to want to set it up using your boom mic stand. You're going to want to attach it there, and you're going to want to put your microphone into this nice little holder that's basically a shock mount holder and will prevent any little bumps and sounds coming from the floor to interrupt your recording. So as you can see, I'm walking around the room. My feet are kind of making noises, but the vibrations from my feet aren't really disrupting the sound going from the microphone into the computer, and that's really important because you don't want that. That sounds amateur, not good. So anyway, that's what you want right there. You also need something like this pop screen. This basically protects your recordings from plosives like your P's and your B's from interrupting the sound of your recording. Really cheap to get, $20, and very essential. So you want to plug that into one of your inputs on your interface, and that basically gets you going. We can get more detailed with mic placement in another video, but essentially for now, for vocals, you just want to place your pop screen in front of your large diaphragm condenser microphone. And I would say the rule of thumb would be about 2 to 4 inches away from the microphone. And why do I say that? Well, these microphones really sound best when you are not right up on them. Just like you wouldn't want somebody speaking directly into your ear. It sounds better to project over these microphones rather than right on top of them like some cardioid microphones that you would see people using on like a concert stage. So Anyway, 2 to 4 inches away, use a pop screen. That basically sums up our video for today. Thank you for watching.